So I'm Marilyn Goldhaber. I'm with the Claremont Canyon Conservancy. We started our organization 10 years after the 1991 fire, but we spent 10 years studying the issue of living at the urban wildland interface. We wanted to know what we could do as normal, regular citizens living in this high fire hazard zone. This is something we didn't realize when we first moved into our house. My husband and I moved in to our house on Stonewall Road in 1989. We thought we were the luckiest people in the world because we had moved from the flatlands into this wonderful neighborhood that was right at the edge of the East Bay Regional Park. Claremont Canyon Regional Preserve is just miles of wildland behind our house, and yet we were very close to the urban facilities, grocery stores, shopping, freeways, etc. But it didn't take long to find out that we did indeed live in a high wildfire hazard severity zone, something like that. So my personal story is that we had 3 children at the time that we moved in. They were triplets. I had given birth to triplets in 1988, and they were 3 years old in 1991. We had never actually left them. My husband had traveled a little bit, but I had never left them for 3 years, and we had decided on that weekend that we would just take a day off and go up to Lake Tahoe, fly up in a little plane, and leave our kids with our new nanny, who was from England, and fortunately she also had a partner, a husband. So we had 2 people watching our 3 children. We drove to the airport. It was a very strange day, very hot, and the wind was incredible. It was an eerie atmosphere. When we got to the airport, the planes weren't taking off. So we thought, well, let's just grab a little lunch, see if the wind calms down. We turned around and saw this large plume of gray smoke coming from the hills in Oakland. My husband, being very quick-minded, turned on the radio, and we learned that there was a wildfire near the Caldecott Tunnel. So, of course, we're pretty close to the Caldecott Tunnel, and we sped as fast as we could to get back home because the nannies were going to take our children to Tilden Park that day. So we were frantic. This was before cell phones and all that. So we were zooming home. When we got home, the nanny and the children were all looking at the hill across from us. We're on the north side of Claremont Canyon. We were looking towards the south side, which was totally on fire, and kids weren't paying any attention, and the nanny thought it was maybe a normal occurrence. So anyhow, we gathered everybody up in the car as quickly as we could. I looked around and I had no idea what to take. It just all I could think of is getting the 3 children, the 2 dogs, the nannies, myself into the car, while my husband stayed and tried to water down the roof. We have a tile roof, but he was watering the house as well as he could and packing up a few belongings. So that was our story. After that experience, I was very motivated to understand what it meant to be living at the edge of a wildland. And I was approached by Bill McClung, who unfortunately passed away last year, a great local hero, along with Tim Wallace, who passed away last year too. These 2 gentlemen were the founding members of the Claremont Canyon Conservancy, and they asked me to participate. That's a long story. They gathered up 12 people that would form a task force, and we studied for 10 years the situation of living at this urban wildland interface and how to wake up the managers of the public lands to become better stewards of the land, to do more fire safety work on an annual basis. And they needed to hear from the public, and our goal was to be the face of the public, so that the people that have the responsibility of managing the public lands have someone to watch them, to respond to them, to appreciate them, and to help them. And that was the founding of the Claremont Canyon Conservancy. And that's my personal story.